Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Russell Matthews here, and if you've been following the channel for a while, you probably already know that I think the Canadian education system has failed us, and failed us in a major way. There's so much emphasis on educating us on these topics that they think will lead to us getting a good paying job. But what good is making all that money if you don't know how to manage all that money? There are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of highly paid, highly educated Canadians who are still living paycheck to paycheck because they were never taught how to properly manage that money. That's why I'm such a huge believer that your future wealth isn't indicated by how much money you make now, but rather by how much financial intelligence you develop in order to make the best decision with the money you do have. That's why today we're going to talk about one of the most important aspects of that financial intelligence that you're working to build, and that is your credit score. And I guarantee you that if you watch all the way to the end of this video and you follow all of these tips over time, you'll be able to save thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm going to show you that even if you have a super low credit score right now, or you haven't even thought about what your credit score is, you can actually take your score all the way to a near perfect score in a lot less time than you might think. But before I do, if you haven't already done so, make sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button to tell YouTube, hey, I want to keep on seeing this Canadian focused content, which to be honest with you, I think there's a vast shortage of here on YouTube. Alright, before we go over the step-by-step process that I would recommend to build your credit score up, first we need to understand what a credit score is and how it's actually put together and what information they're using to actually develop what your score is. You can think of a credit report in sort of the same way that you think about getting a report card in school, but instead of it telling you how poorly you did in French class, if you're in my situation, it's going to tell you how well they think that you've been able to manage money. They'll try to gather up as much information as possible in order to give you a score between 300 and 900. Now, the higher that score is, the more and more banks and other financial institutions will trust you with money. Now, as your credit score increases, which it will if you follow the tips in this video, certain benefits will start coming your way. First off, you'll start to get offered lower and lower interest rates when it comes to getting any sort of loan, be it a mortgage or a car loan. This could save you thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long term. Then as it keeps on increasing, banks will actually start reaching out to you saying, hey, we'd love to lend you $10,000, $20,000 to do with as you see fit. So there are 5 main things that they're going to look at to determine what your credit score is. Let's go over each of them in order from the most impactful to the least impactful. The first and most impactful factor is your payment history, and this makes up to 35% of your credit score. This tracks one thing, and that's how many times you've made your payments on time versus how many times you haven't. Obviously, the more on-time payments you have, the better, and when you miss a payment, it's reflected negatively on your credit score. So you'll want to prioritize making every single payment for any type of loan you have on time. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to pay off the full balance if it's a credit card or other type of loan. You just need to make the minimum payment on time. So this is the first step. You want to make sure that you're paying everything on time as frequently as possible. The next thing they're going to take into consideration is your debt, otherwise known as your credit utilization rate. Let me explain what that means. This category is just trying to show that you're not absolutely maxing out all of your credit cards. The way it measures this is it sort of takes a look at how much debt you have, like how much spending there is on your credit card, versus how much credit is available to you. So for example, if you have a credit card with a limit of $1,000 and you have a balance on that credit card of $500, then you have a 50% credit utilization rate. In order to use this category to actually increase your credit score, you're going to want to make sure your credit utilization rate is under 35%. So if we go along with the same example, if you have a $1,000 credit card, you don't want to have a balance of anything over $350. That would give you the 35% credit utilization rate that they're looking for you to have in order to improve your score. And the same goes for any credit limit that you could have on a loan or a credit card, right? If you have a $10,000 loan, then you don't want to have a balance of over $3,500, right? You just want to keep on doing that calculation to make sure you're constantly under 35%, and if you are, you'll start to see your credit rating go up. The next most important category is your credit length, and this makes up 15% of your credit score. What this credit length really means is how long of a history they have on you when it comes to seeing how you spend your money. If you got your first credit card 3 months ago, then they only really have 3 months to look at to determine how you handle your money. But if you got your first credit card, say 3 years ago, then they have a longer history and a longer area of time to look at in order to come up with your credit rating. So when it comes to this category, the longer the better. And that's why I recommend that you get a credit card as soon as you possibly can, and maybe don't use it a whole lot, but just get the card so that you can lengthen out this credit history and as a result improve your credit score. Again, make sure to stay till the end of the video because I'm going to be going over the step-by-step process that I recommend in order to put all of these things together to increase your score as quickly as humanly possible. The next category makes up 10% of your credit report, and it is new inquiries. Anytime you apply for a new credit card or a new car loan or potentially a mortgage for a home, the lender has to first check what your credit score is, and in order to do so, they need to make a credit inquiry. Now, when they do this, in order to get a better idea of what your credit score is, it puts a small ding on the credit score itself. Now, the reason they do this is to sort of show if somebody is applying for a whole bunch of credit all at the same time, this is going to lower their score a little bit. But don't worry, this is one of the least impactful categories. If you recently applied for a couple new credit cards, just wait a few months, and if you follow these other tips, that sort of dip in your credit score that would result from you applying for those new credit products, they'll pretty much vanish entirely. And the last category is diversity, and this also makes up 10% of your credit score. And this essentially tracks how many different types of credit you have. Now, this category sort of counteracts and balances the previous one, because this one actually rewards you for having multiple types of credit, multiple credit cards, multiple loans. The idea is that if you have access to a bunch of different types of credit, then the people who are going to track your credit score will say, hey, we have more and more evidence of this person being able to handle their money in a bunch of different circumstances, whether it be a credit card, a car loan, or a mortgage. All of these together are going to work together to give you a better credit score. So if you're somebody who only has one credit card, it could make a little bit of sense for you to apply for another credit card or potentially for a personal line of credit, just to sort of add to this diversity of different types of credit that they can look at to determine this 10% of your credit score. So these are the 5 main areas that you're going to want to look out for in order to build up your credit score over time. And together they're going to work together in order to help you build this as quickly as possible. And it really can't be overstated how important it is to sort of start thinking about this and to build up this credit score. For one simple reason, it gives you options. Just last week on the channel, we talked about one of the most disgusting things that happens consistently in Canada, and that's high interest rate predatory loans that are given out to at-risk Canadians. Many shady companies in Canada will actually seek out people with low credit scores in order to offer them loans that could have them paying thousands more dollars than they could potentially need to if they had a better score. And that's the key here. Because these people likely had low credit scores, they didn't have options. They weren't able to go to a traditional bank to get a typical loan for these tricky situations where they needed some money. Instead, they needed to turn to these predatory businesses, which really took advantage of them. So if you're somebody who finds themselves in a similar vulnerable position with a very low credit score, or perhaps you don't even know what your credit score is, here are the 3 steps that I'd recommend to get the ball rolling to get you back on track as quickly as possible. Step number 1 is to check your credit score. Now, there are a couple different websites that do this, but my number 1 recommendation is CreditKarma.ca. This is a super easy and totally free way that you can check your credit score, and it doesn't count as an inquiry against your credit score, so you can check it as many times as you want and you won't see your credit score go down. It's really cool how you can sort of watch how your credit score evolves and goes up and down over time. Now, since I've been working at this for a while, following exactly these tips, I've been able to work my credit score up to an 845 out of a possible 900. Now, once you're past the 760 range, that's when you'll get the lowest interest rates, and essentially people will consider this pretty much perfect. Once you've checked your credit score, you'll have a better idea of where you're starting from. Now, it's totally okay if you have a super low credit score right now, because to be honest, people don't teach this stuff at the time when it should be taught, when we're all kids. But by following these next steps, you'll be able to start to see it go up very quickly. Step number 2 is, if you haven't already done so, get a credit card. Now, if you have trouble qualifying for this credit card, look into something called a secured credit card, where you can actually put money down as collateral for them to give you this credit credit card so you can sort of work to build up your credit score. Once you have this credit card, start using it instead of your debit card whenever you can, but only use this credit card to make purchases in which you have the money already to pay for, because the next step is transferring money from your debit card or your other checkings or savings accounts immediately after making the purchase to pay off your credit card. In this step, you're essentially killing 3 birds with 1 stone. First off, you're starting your credit history and making that length as long as possible so lenders can get a better idea of your history and the way that you manage money. Second, you're improving your payment history by constantly paying off the balance in full. You'll have a nearly perfect credit history in terms of the repayment, which will also work towards your score. And as an added benefit, if you're constantly paying off this balance in full every time, you're guaranteed to have a below 35% credit utilization rate like we talked about before. Now, if you're in the tricky position where you already have some credit cards that are maxed out, I think you should prioritize paying down these credit cards at least until you reach that 35% utilization rate. Because even if you have a balance on the cards, as long as it's underneath that 35% and you're making the minimum payments, you'll start to see your score go up. And step 3, over time, as you follow these habits that you've built up in step number 2, you've got this longer credit history, you're paying things off on time, and you're staying below that 35% balance, you'll start to see your score go up dramatically. As this score rises, you'll now be able to qualify for other types of loans and credit, whether it be a new additional credit card or a personal line of credit. When you apply for these new credit products, your score will take a small ding like we talked about before, because the lenders need to do an inquiry on your credit, which, like we said, there's a small temporary ding, but it's worth it in the long term. By applying for these, you're expanding the diversity of your credit, something we talked about before, right? If you have all of these different types of credit, then there's more of a base for them to get an idea of how well you manage your money. Now, make sure to use these products in exactly the same way as I mentioned in step number 2. Only make purchases in which you have the money right now to pay off, or at the very least, keeping that credit utilization under 35%. Now, at this point, you've got the ball rolling, and it's going to be easier and easier to stick to these habits. And as you do, you're going to see your credit score go up and up and up and get very close to perfect. Once you hit that quote unquote perfect score of anywhere above a 760 on the Credit Karma site when you go to check, that's when you'll really start to see the benefits of having a high credit score. Next time you need to get a car loan, or if you're in the positive financial position where you're ready to apply for a mortgage, you'll be able to get the absolute lowest interest rates, saving you thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands in the case of a mortgage, on your interest payments. And most of all, you'll have options. If something goes bad, your car breaks down, or you need to add an addition to your house, or there's some sort of maintenance you need to take care of, you're not going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place and forced to get these predatory loans. You'll have extremely low interest rate loans available to you via your personal line of credit or other credit products from the bank because of your high credit score. At that point, it's not as big of a deal if you need to borrow a little bit more money to make ends meet or to handle one of these problems, right? Because you've taken the time to build up this score, you have these options available to you. And in my eyes, that's the whole point of this, right? The whole point of developing this financial intelligence is to give you more options with your life. Because let's face it, what impacts your life more than money does? Now, of course, spending time with family and friends and worrying about your physical health, these are all very important things, but I'm a firm believer that if you have this financial background and this financial stability, you're actually able to take advantage of those most important things in life: family, friends, and your physical well-being. So I hope you've made it to the end of this video and that you actually follow these tips, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I want to know what you have to say about all this. Do you find this kind of information helpful? Let me know down in the comments, and feel free to join our community Discord server if you want to discuss it even more. And of course, if you want to support a Canadian-focused channel like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And if you can think of a friend or a family member who could benefit from this information, feel free to click that share button and send this their way. And with all of that said, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really hope these sort of tips and tricks help you out at least a little bit, and I'll see you next time.